Jayson Tatum had 15 points, 12 rebounds, and 7 assists in Friday's debut. Then on Sunday, the Tatum takeover continued as the Celtics squared off against the surging Cavs. Let's just get you to the highlight, shall we? There he is. In return, second game back, taking on the Beard and them. First quarter, come on.
Back like you never left.
Truly, in rhythm. No issues, Ken. A minute later, look at this little duo. Doing great. I mean, who said 10-month wear?
I like the aggressiveness, man.
Really back
Yes.
like you never left.
It's nonsensical. All right, a lot going on here in this play. Harden trying to make it work.
Nobody get a rebound.
Anyone.
That was the story of the entire games for the Cavs. They could not make a single shot.
Not a thing. They could not get it going. All right, here we go. Jump to the third quarter.
Early in the third. Tatum
Ooh.
lost it on the spin move.
They got you, JT, but it's okay.
Into the game as well. Merrill, go to the top.
Ooh,
Started to make this a game.
Right,
Back after
we were waiting for it.
a break.
Don't forget about JB.
Well, it was interesting to see as this game went on. Jayson Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Peyton Pritchard, they all were able to get wherever they wanted on the court without much issue.
Right.
Cavs couldn't do much to stop. And then we got this pass.
What is
I don't
this?
know if I've seen a better alley.
It's as good a pass. Like, you literally couldn't place it better than putting it right on the rim for Evan Mobley to throw it down.
Kid, maybe.
Insane.
RJ said on the broadcast, Jason Kidd like that.
It's nonsensical.
Yeah, and this has
Here we
also
go.
been a huge
Let's-
development, too. Obviously, Jason Tatum can step up and hit this shot.
Beautiful.
Enos Kada's development
Yeah.
center has been a huge thing for Boston this year. Big part of why they're in
Here's,
position there on these.
here's JT afterwards.
I think we did a good job. Obviously, every game you can learn from some, win or lose, but I can't stress it enough, man. I'm just happy to be out here playing on the team with the guys, competing, making plays, making mistakes. Just happy to be out here.
So with the win, the Celtics moves just 2.5 games from the Pistons for that top seed in the East. They've won 14 of their last 17 games. Insane. They are rolling. MJ Acosta-Ruiz here with Ramona Shelbourne, Tim Bontemps, and Mark Spears in the house, looking very dapper. Jayson Tatum is averaging 17.5 points, 7.5 rebounds, and 4.5 assists in 2 games since returning to the Celtics lineup. Tim, what is your reaction just seeing him these last couple games?
I mean, it's really goes back to what I've been saying the last couple months, which is if Jayson Tatum can get back on the court and look anything like the guy he was before he got hurt, the Celtics have to be the favorites in the Eastern Conference playoffs coming up in a few weeks. And the way these first 2 games went, you have to feel great if you're Jayson Tatum, the Boston Celtics, and their fan base. He could not have looked better in this game. And it wasn't that he came out and hit it every single shot. He obviously looked a little bit rusty shooting the ball, but he got back to being a great help defender, making these passes like that one to Neemias Queta there, hitting spot-up threes. He's always been an excellent player in terms of his ability to fill out the stat sheet across the board, to do all the little things required to help a team win. He did all that stuff and more in these first 2 games. And for a guy who hadn't played in 10 months, you have to be thrilled to see him come back the way.
Yeah, I mean, he literally could not have had a better start to these 2 games. And one of the things I like, though, is that he focused on defense and setting guys up and playing within the flow of that Boston offense. And I think, he said, I was just trying to get a feel for the game. And I texted with him a little bit over the weekend, and he said, I'm feeling pretty good, but I'm still just trying to find it again, find my rhythm. And on defense, he goes, I like playing defense. I like focusing in that way because I don't have to think. I'm just reacting out there on the court. I'm not thinking about how's my leg feeling or anything. And once he started to hit a couple shots in that first game, he didn't shoot the ball well at first, and then he got the dunk, and then he started making a couple threes. He's finding it faster than anybody would have imagined. I think he played more than we all would have thought. And Tim, you're right. That's a scary team right there because this isn't just a guy coming back. This is a guy who's played and led them to a championship before. They know how to play together already.
It's a different level for sure. Mark, as you watch Tatum back on the floor, what comes to mind?
May 12th last year is when he went down. It's not even a year, and this man is back on the court. I remember talking to his dad a day or 2 after that, and he said they had a very emotional conversation in which Jayson had said, "Why me? Why me?" His father told him it's God's will, and he said, "Remember, your idol's Kobe Bryant, and you'll come back from this Achilles injury, just like Kobe Bryant did," and he did. His dad actually got some heat because he told me that he would be back next season, and I don't think the family really wanted Jayson to have some pressure on him, but he certainly has some Mamba mentality with this. the way he worked, and we saw some videos of how he worked and got stronger and he dunked. I mean, he was showing us that he was coming back, but you just, in the back of your mind, you're like, no way he would come back that quick. So shout out to him and shout out to the medical team and shout out to his pops for believing in him.
Well, that was the crazy thing about it. He did not look like a guy. I mean, you joked about it in the highlight. He didn't look like a guy who was out for 10 months. Like, if you had just seen this game dropped in the middle of last year, you'd have thought, yeah, Jayson Tatum had played a couple games. So, I mean, it's a hell of a start for him and for the Celtics, and, you know, they've really put the East on notice.
I'll say this, as the world was questioning whether or not Jayson Tatum never flinched about his return this season. Meanwhile, in Los Angeles, no LeBron, not a problem. Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves gave the Knicks all they could handle. Let's get you to the recap of this one. All right, Luka ready to go. LeBron missing his second straight game with that elbow injury. We pick it up in the third here, guys. Just Luka doing Luka things.
Very few guys can make anywhere close to that kind of shot, and Luka, I don't want to say makes it look easy, but it makes it look like a lot easier than anybody
that's
else.
like a fall-away Dirk Nowitzki shot that usually was from the elbow, but that's from out by the baseline there.
Our little teamwork, Josh Hart getting it in there for New York.
With a few highlights for the Knicks.
That's a charge. Did you see that? He took a charge.
Saw the money sign there from Luka Doncic. I would say he's very lucky the referees did not see that. He very well might have gotten his 16th technical foul.
Good point.
All right, here we go. Oh, he got swagger. Come on, Reeves.
It's nice to see Austin back doing that.
Did the money sign after that.
Well, it's nice to see Austin back doing that, too. He's obviously still coming back from these hamstring injuries he's been dealing with, and he's certainly starting to get back into a rhythm, which is good for the Lakers.
25 points and 5 assists on the night. Ooh, aggressive.
Yeah, Luke Kennard's had a much bigger role for the Lakers of late, and if he can continue to stay on the court defensively, then he's a real asset for them offensively.
Yeah, the Lakers taking out the win by quite a sizable margin. With his 35 points, Luka has now scored at least 30 in 7 straight games against the Knicks. He averages 30.8 points per game in his career against New York. That is the 3rd highest career scoring average against the Knicks, behind only Wilt and MJ. Malika Andrews caught up with Luka after the game. Take a listen.
Marcus Smart is sort of the head of your defense, but we saw you taking the charge here in this game. How?
2 charges. 2
charges in this game. Well, one that counted and another one. But how can this be the defense that we see night in and night out?
It's great, man. We hold them under the 100. They have great players. They just scored 142 against Denver. So today, the defense was amazing. Everybody was locked in. And obviously Smart, man. Smart has been so great this season for us.
So the Lakers improved to 9-2 this season in games played by Luka and Austin Reeves without LeBron James. By contrast, the Lakers are just 11-7 with all 3 stars in the lineup. I mean, those two know how to step up for sure. The Lakers have won 5 of their last 6 games and are 14 games over 500. But somehow, Ramona, it's still kind of hard to explain what their identity is.
Yeah, I mean, they won 5 of their 6, but most of those were against pretty bad teams they should have beaten. I think their defense last night was really impressive in the sense that there's a team that we always question their defense, right? The Knicks are averaging 117 points a game. They held them to 97 in this one. And you saw Luka take that charge. You see Marcus Smart. Marcus Smart's always doing that. But for Luka to be taking charges, for DeAndre Ayton to be flying around the ball, you know, I thought they played, Austin Reeves used this word after the game in his post-game interview. He said, playing a little grimier defense. We don't see that from LA, but we saw that at points last year. They actually had a top 5 defense for part of the second half of last season. And if they can just get that back in doses, even if it's a game here or a game there against good teams like the Knicks, they have something.
I mean, they have something, but I think we should go back to that stat that we showed on the screen when they're 9-2 in games when Luka and Austin play and LeBron doesn't. And that's not some indictment of LeBron James, or is it an indictment of Austin Reeves or Luka Doncic that when any 2 of those 3 guys have been on the court, they have struggled this season. But the fact is, when you have 3 guys out there who are, at this point, I think it's fair to say, minus defenders, it is going to be very hard to build the kind of defense that we're talking about, Ramona, and like you just said, they had in that game yesterday. And that is something the Lakers are going to have to figure out over the final couple months of the season. The stats do not lie. When those 3 guys play together, they're negative on the season. And when it's any 2 of them together, the numbers go up quite a bit. So it is going to be a big challenge for J.J. Redick to get the defense to be in a good enough place to where these guys can really be a force in the Western Conference playoffs.
And Coach has been screaming about the defense all season long, Mark.
Yeah, I mean, Luka was making a defensive effort. Okay, I was impressed. Obviously, the elephant in the room is that they have a better record without LeBron James and with him. And to me, this is a view of what the Lakers are going to look like going forward. Whether LeBron James retires or goes into free agency, I don't expect him to be a Laker next season. And so to me, I think this is Rob Pelinka's chance when he doesn't play to kind of like look at this team, evaluate the team, and kind of see what Luka and AR need for the future. But it's obvious that they play great together. There's only one ball handler. They have great camaraderie, and to me, this is the future Laker team.
The biggest knock on Luka and AR defensively is that when they're on the court defensively, that's a tough backcourt, right? That is not a great defensive backcourt. And it reminds me a little bit of Steph Curry and Klay at the beginning of their career. Steph was not good defensively, but he made himself not bad. Like, you don't have to be good. You just have to be not bad. And if Luka can do that, then the Lakers, then that backcourt can work.
Yeah, it can start to build a little bit, but they've got to get in rhythm if they want to continue to push past. And as we get down the stretch and closer to the playoffs. All right, coming up, after dominating the East for months in Detroit,